Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins. I'm G, and we have just gone through a rather unfortunate series of events, where we learned about who FB was, and we learned a little bit more about who Nye actually is. All of which were horrible. So now we finally managed to undo the D-mail that Mocha sent to herself, and on we go. The world shatters, warps, and reforms. Eventually, those sensations disappear and color gradually returns to the world. I find myself standing in the street near the lab. The burning pain in my right arm is suddenly gone. I look down. There's no wound, no blood. Instead, I'm holding a convenience store bag with 2 bottles of Dr. P. I guess it worked. I head straight for Mocha's apartment. When I get there, Mocha opens the door normally and peeks out at me. She looks fine. No signs of despair. No blood stained by the door. No knife either.
Okabe-kun, how did you know where I...
Let me kill some time here. I barge into the room. The hour of Mocha's death passes with no sign of Nye. The world line has changed. I've got mail! Mocha's right in front of me, but she sends me mail. I don't need an IBM 5100 anymore. It feels like forever since we last conversed like this. What do you mean? My supervisor told me to stop looking. FB told you to stop?
How did you know about FB? Where did you get that information?
Mocha. So FB's still alive. I feel relief, but also fear. I mustn't forget that he is my enemy. For now, however, I'm more interested in what Mocha just said. FB canceled her mission to retrieve the IBM 5100? Doing your duty sets you up for disposal, so we're more like cattle than dogs. I recall his last words. Perhaps he canceled her mission so that they wouldn't be eliminated. If that's the truth, then maybe he really was trying to save Mocha.
Live in fear and regret, Okabe Rintaro, until we meet again in 15 years.
I wonder what happened to Nye. I can't get that childish yet hate-filled voice out of my head. On that world line, I turned an innocent girl into a murderer. I bite my lip hard enough to draw blood. I won't fear you, Nye, nor will I repent. That world line has already been undone. But how will things turn out in this new world line? No, there's no point thinking about it. If the plan worked, the IBM 5100 should already be back in my possession. And if that's the case, then there's no need to stay on this world line either. On the way back to the lab, I stop by the Brown Tube workshop and peek in through the window. The 42-inch CRT is powered on, and Tanoji, FB, is lounging in front of it, reading the sports pages. FB is alive. His daughter Nye has no reason to hate anyone now. I climb the stairs to the lab. There's nobody there but Kurusu. Have you been to Kiryu Mocha's apartment?
Huh?
Kurusu pauses her at-channel browsing session to look at me in confusion.
Mocha-san's apartment? Never.
Oh, okay.
Why do you ask?
It doesn't matter, just wondering. I cut across the lounge and head straight for the development room. In the middle of that room sits the time leap machine. After a glance at the time leap machine, I scan the shelves. It's here! A large, familiar cardboard box. I was right. Inside the box is the IBM 5100, the legendary retro PC stolen from me by the twist of fate. At last, it has returned! The long battle is finally over. I did it! We can save Mayuri! Daru! Daru! Where's my Super Haka? I can't contain my excitement. My heart is beating like a jackhammer.
He's not here. He went to Komima, remember?
I got mail! Mayuri.
I haven't seen you in a while. Okarin's been acting strange lately, so she didn't go to Komima today. Are you at the lab? Maybe I'll go there now. I haven't seen you in a couple of days, you know? We usually see each other every day, so it's really lonely. I know it's only been 4 days at most, but I'm used to being with you all the time. I'm your hostage, remember? Don't let go.
Oh, Mayuri. Oh, Mayuri. Oh, right. In that case, he won't return until evening. I can't wait that long. So I fire up the time machine and leap. As shape and color return to the world, I see Daru in front of his computer, sleepily playing an eroge. Kurisu's napping on the sofa. She probably just got done with her all-nighter on the timely machine. Mayuri's not around. She probably went to Rukako's to beg him to cosplay. Daru! Christina! Kurisu jerks awake. It's time for the final phase of Operation Verdande. My sonorous declaration earns only blank stares. Why are they so slow? The IBN 5100, Daru! Yeah? Listen to me, man. We have an IBN 5100. Of course we do. You're the one who found it, Okarin. Yes, I did! I found it at Yanabayashi Shrine. Have you been drinking too much soda?
Let me sleep, for crying out loud.
Kurisu rubs her eyes and complains. She looks dead tired.
I was up all night.
A question, Daru. Have you researched how to use the IBN 5100? Huh? Well, yeah, I guess.
Can you believe I did it while preparing...
Oh, wait, no. Can you believe I did it while preparing for Komima? I'm like a saint or something. They'd knight me for this in England. Then we shall call you Sir Supahaka! Hell no.
Will you guys shut up? You're giving me a headache.
If Daru knows how to use the IBN 5100, then we can hack CERN right now. Hear me, lab mems. Mayuri's not here, but that's actually more convenient. Our long struggle has at long last reached its climax. Ragnarok is at hand. Now we must deliver the decisive blow. With the power of the IBN 5100, we shall crack CERN's most secure database and destroy it from the inside. Through the cowardly apparatus known as Echelon, the enemy has acquired precious intelligence on our activities. Now they plot to steal our sacred time machine, upon which rest the hopes and dreams of all mankind. Beneath its scholarly trapping, CERN is a hive of scum and villainy, of men who would sacrifice innocent souls in their quest to rule all space and time. But now, we are poised to crush them with the hammer of justice! And when we do, they will know once and for all by whose hand the wheel of fate truly turns. When the sun sets upon the battlefield, the foul system that rules the world will crumble, and from the flames a new age will rise, an age of glorious, unfettered chaos.
Ah, shut up.
Kurisu gets fed up and rises from the sofa.
What are you talking about?
Nobody knows the darkness in Okarin's heart.
First, get your character straight. What kind of mad scientist talks about the hammer of justice?
I guess he just got caught up in the heat of the moment. Maybe he regrets it now. Come on, guys, stop complaining and get ready. Get ready? To crack CERN, weren't you listening?
I don't think that's a good idea.
When did you become a goody two-shoes? Where's your ambition?
Are you trying to get us arrested?
That's not the problem. I fight the urge to grind my teeth. Instead, I fix Kurisu with my stare. It's taken me so long just to reach this point. This is my chance to escape the Alpha World Line and save Mayuri. I won't let anyone get in my way. Anyone!
Okabe.
Why so serious, man? I've got good reason. To them, only half an hour has passed since the time leap machine was built. But to me, many days have passed since this ordeal began. Please! I bow my head deeply. Please hear me out. Or else Mayuri will die, and in 26 years the world will be ruled by CERN. Suzuha's sacrifice will have been for nothing. Daru claps me on the shoulder, and smiles broadly and thrusts his thumb skyward. It's not like I'm cracking for you or anything, okay? Oh god. I burst out in laughter. Sir Super Haka, Tsundere version, is here to save the day. I couldn't have asked for a better right-hand man. As Daru hooks the IBM 5100 to his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let's hope this is the last. This all happened because of the very first D-mail I sent to Daru. CERN intercepted that D-mail with Echelon and figured out what it meant, then set their rounders after us. They will kill Mayuri, kidnap us, and steal the Time Link machine. Some years after that, I assumed Daru and I escape and form the resistance to which Suzuha belonged. I tried to save Mayuri, but nothing worked. Every world line converged on the same result, just as attractor field theory said they would. You know, if this is all in your head, I think you've got a career as a light novel author ahead of you. It's true, all of it. To prevent Mayuri's death, and to free Suzuha's future from CERN, we need to escape from the Alpha world line, and I think we can do that by cancelling all of our changes to the timeline so far. That should return us to the Beta world line, the world line that existed before I sent that first email. There's just one more step. We need to erase the first D-mail from CERN's database. If what Suzuha said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the Beta world line. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect.
Fascinating,
Kurusu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. It looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion. You believe in Makisushi?
In theory, I'd like to see objective data, but that's obviously impossible.
Relax, your time link machine worked perfectly.
Of course it did.
She doesn't deny it. That's just like Kurusu.
Besides, we were already planning to crack CERN's database, weren't we? Fine, let's see what's in there. If the mail data exists, then it's proof that what you said is true.
So what you're saying is, don't think, feel. Got it.
You lost me.
What he meant to say was, don't think, do. Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down on the chair, and wipes away his sweat. Done bridging them. I need to tinker with the settings a little, but we should be up and running in about 10 minutes. Alright.
So the first email started everything. Was that the one you showed me at ATF? The one that said I died or something?
Right, I found you dead at Radicon and sent Daru an email. Daru happened to be experimenting on the phone wave names which changed at the time, so the discharge phenomenon occurred and the mail was... My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest, a sudden terrible certainty that I am missing something vital. I frantically replay the conversation in my head. We must cancel all of our changes to the timeline so far. The very first email started it all. The one that said I died or something. Return to the world line that existed before I sent the first email. An icy fist seizes my heart and I turn to Kurusu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of hers no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly with the light of curiosity.
What?
I was right. I had missed something vital. Something dire. The world line I set my sights on to save Mayuri. The world line upon which Suzuha staked her hope for the future. The world line I am at last poised to reach at the end of this long struggle. On that world line, Mayuri lives. On that world line, CERN fails. And on that world line, on the 8th floor of Radicon, Makise Kurusu dies. Chapter 10. Stardust Sky. Oh man. I thought that I had found the solution. that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Mayuri or Kurisu. One of them must die. Radikan is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly cancelled the attempt to hack CERN. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I am still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurisu was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurisu's death, from CERN's database. What would return us to the Beta World line where it all began? What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, Lab Member 004, Makise Kurisu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now, on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase the D-mail, Kurisu will cease to exist. And so I am left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the IBM 5100 and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the Beta World line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha World line. Mayuri will die, so will Mocha and FB. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. And I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, I probably would not have hesitated to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis, always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. I can't choose! I can't! Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri? That's what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? I drive my fist into the wire fence. Suzuha, Ferris, Rukako, Moaka. Is this what I sacrificed your memories for? Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that wouldn't work. The reason Suzuha leapt to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia that only occurs on this world line. On the Beta World line, she'll have no reason to leap to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I send Kurisu a warning via email? It could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kursu's death is inevitable on the way to Worldline, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this Worldline. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current Worldline. I cancelled Mooka's email. Plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely. I understand that from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kursu. If I can just save them both. Then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I am just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Komima runs for 3 straight days from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Komima closes. It's not really my thing, though, and the crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off to the side with Mayuri's bags. From time to time, Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching.
Ha! We're finally home!
It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri is dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with dojinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while. What are you gonna do now? Head straight home?
Actually, I was thinking of going to the lab.
Need something?
Not really, but it's been a while since I got to relax with Ocarine. I'm a little hungry, so I'll buy some juicy chicken #1 on the way.
Maybe Mayuri wants a taste of normalcy again, now that the chaos of Komima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders. Back to the lab, then.
Hey, Ocarine, why did you come with Mayushi today? You've never come with Komima before. You're not interested in Moe, right?
I like robot anime. But not so much that I'd line up early in the morning for Komima each year like Dairo and Mayuri do.
So why did you come with me today?
Well, to confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I want her to live, remember?
Well,
I just felt like it.
Oh.
Suddenly, silence. A down-hard frown replaces the usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die? Rukiko. I frantically tried to smooth things over. I thought maybe you'd managed to get Rukiko to cosplay, so I came to laugh at him. Too bad he didn't come.
Yeah, Rukiko would be super popular if he did come, though. People would take his picture and post it all over the internet, then everyone in the world would see how cute he is. And after he became a superstar, Mayushi would see him on TV and think, wow, he's gone so far.
It's scary because it's true.
Ocarine?
Suddenly, Mayuri turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
Thank you for today.
Why are you thanking me?
Well, like I said, this is the first time Okarine's ever come to Komima with me. It made Mayushi really happy.
A smile finally returns to Mayuri's face.
But you know what would make me even happier? If you cosplay next time.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That's right, don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
Really? You'll cosplay for me?
Only if you cosplay too. Rukiko too, and Christina, of course. Convince them to cosplay first. If you manage that, then I, the great and insane mad scientist Hoin Kyoma, will grace Komima with my august presence. The next Komima takes place this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. But it sounds really fun too. Besides, I think Chris-chan secretly wants to cosplay, so there's hope. She's gonna do her best.
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka going to ambush us? In the previous world line, I forgave Moeka and Tenoji. But that has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive and they're still after the Time Leap machine. Wait here, Mayuri. I motion for her to sit and wait on a bench in front. Then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile, but still I want to do anything I can. Anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first I decided to check the street for any suspicious people. I walked down the street towards Kuramai Bashidori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Huh? Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moeka used to run us over on the previous world line. The same one Tenoji used to transport the IBN 5100. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die?
Okay!
Huh? Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. Mayuri! I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted! I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Oh, Kathy.
Mayuri, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Her hand wanders as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles.
Finally, Mayushi was useful to Okain.
What? Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all I find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears. Mayuri, you can't see the stars from here. How could this happen? Why did she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen. I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face. What do you mean you were finally useful? Tell me, Mayuri. There is no future for Mayuri on this world line, and that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. The sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Radikan after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I want more time to think, that's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that is no longer an option now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time, I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the Beta world line, where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the D-mail reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave names change. I was around the middle of July. Daru and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the D-mail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. But now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha world line. On the Beta world line, where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the D-mail, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Radikan, Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha world line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that D-mail because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and send them a D-mail warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that D-mail, I would first have to move to the Beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. There you are. I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now. What are you doing here? Nothing. How did you know I was here? You said you wanted to be alone. I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest probability of finding you here. Then leave me alone. You don't have to look for me. I'm not a lost little boy.
Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you?
Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression.
I was going to leave you alone at first. But you've been acting weird the last couple days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual. You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened?
Nothing.
Then why did you cancel the cracking of CERN?
You're the one who said we shouldn't.
Oh, so you're afraid of triggering arrest flags, I get it.
You should praise me for obeying the law for a change.
That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist, Halloween Kyo?
To hell with my ego! This time it's not that simple. I have forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Ferris, Rukako. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justify it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made it my self-righteous choice. But this time the alternatives are impossible to compare. I have to choose which friend to let die. It would be so much easier if I knew what was right.
Which friend to let die? What are you talking about?
I'm just a student, Christina, you know? The insane mad scientist Hoin Kyoma? That's just a fantasy. A character I made up. I bet you had no idea.
I may have figured that out when we first met.
When we first met? What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now.
Tell me, Okabe, what do you mean?
I can't meet her questioning gaze. Do I have to tell you?
You've never hesitated to ask me for help before. Don't hold back now.
That's not what this is about. Then prepare yourself. What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth. And it could also be your death sentence.
Eh?
Kurisu's voice cracks a little. Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the Beta World Line, where Mayuri doesn't die.
And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives, everyone is free. You made it sound perfect.
Perfect? It's anything but. I showed you the first D-mail, didn't I? The one that started it all. On the Beta World Line, the events described in that D-mail actually happened. Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt that she understands. Kurisu, on the Beta World Line, you die on July 28th. And according to the attractor field model, nothing can prevent that from happening. If I want to save Mayuri, I have no choice but to let you die. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
Hey, Okabe. How credible do you find this attractor field model?
Credible?
It's all secondhand info from John Teeter, from Amane-san, isn't it? I get that it's the accepted model in 2036. But how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields?
Are you trying to say the model may be wrong? I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand.
Even if they're right about convergence, what about the relationship between world lines?
The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future.
But that's just from your perspective, Okabe. Once you go to the beta world line, the me that your brain perceives will die. In other words, your perspective will have chosen the world line where I die instead of the one where I don't. However, why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world my brain perceives?
Brains. I forgot her specialty was neuroscience. So you're saying world lines are independent?
Like trains, maybe.
Trains?
Let me give you an easy example.
Kursu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I use?
I didn't know you were a rail fan.
It's just an example, jeez. You choose to take the
Yeah, that's still her.
You choose to take the Yamanote line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to the Tokaido main line for the rest of your trip.
Kursu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
But I take the Yamanote line to Osaki, then transfer to the Shonan Shinjuku line. Another person, say Hashida-san, might decide to take the Kein Tohoku line for some reason. And Mayuri might ride from Shinkansen to Tokyo. You and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there we ride different lines, while still aiming for the same destination.
And that applies to the universe? You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds?
I like to use my imagination too sometimes. But where's the proof that there's only one world?
Suzuha said so, and then there's reading Steiner.
In other words, an unknown time traveler, and your
oh my god, whoops, I missed that. Shit. Where's the transcript button? There we go.
In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower.
But we knew Suzuha.
There's no way to prove that she was Hashida's daughter, or anything she had said about 2036 either. Not without going there ourselves. And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being. That's completely absurd, Okabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god. But there are no gods in reality. The world doesn't revolve around you. It's just your brain making you believe that it does. If that makes you this world's god, then I must be a god too. My brain is just as big as yours.
What are you trying to say?
Let's say you chose the world line where I die. That doesn't mean I have to do the same. The fact is that I'm standing right here right now, observing the world with my own subjectivity. I already exist on a world line where I don't die. Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective might remain here. It's a question of where the soul lies, and I won't let you have your way with my soul.
No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy.
But there's a chance I'm right. So you have nothing to worry about.
Kursu smiles.
How can she smile? I just told her that she's going to die. The problem is that you don't want to let me die, right? But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line. So there's no reason to be afraid.
It's just a hypothesis.
The same is true of attractor fields. It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2036, that doesn't help us here in the present. In other words, anything is possible.
Kursu turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could quite possibly render meaningless everything I've done up to now.
How can Kursu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl. You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did.
Don't say it like that.
Mayuri.
Hello? Mayuri?
Yeah.
Display on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some reason. What's wrong?
I heard from Darikun that Okarin's been acting kind of strange. Mayushi was so preoccupied with Kamima she didn't really notice. Even though she usually notices right away when Okarin's not happy. I'm sorry, Okarin.
Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong.
Did something happen? Okarin?
I can't tell her. I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be. There's nothing wrong.
Oh. You know, you used to talk to Mayushi about a lot of things, remember? Like, the organization's 4 leaders. Names are, Back Turkish, Virginian Burp, Balloon Drag Queen, and Wide-Eyed Gore, right?
Black Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, Blue Dragon, and White Tiger.
Yeah, that! You know, it was really fun talking to Ocarina about stuff like that. But now... Ocarina, if Mayushi's a burden, just say so, okay?
What? I never...
I'm hanging up now. If you feel like talking to Mayushi about anything, just call, okay? Do-do-do!
She hung up on me. What did Mayuri say? That was not her voice. What did Mayuri say? How are you a burden? Don't say things like that, damn it! Why is she only serious at times like this?
A burden, huh?
I've never felt Mayuri was a burden, not once. You should tell her that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt? Either way, I can't tell her the truth.
Okabe.
Kursu sighs, then glares at me. The old you wouldn't have worried about anything. Anyway, you should go see Mayuri. I'm sure she has a lot to say. She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. And I think that that is a pretty good place to cut it. This is... Oh my god, there's a lot here that I'm not familiar with in the first place, and just, oh my god, it's just... Oh, it's heartbreaking. Oh my god, just these two wonderful people that you have to choose between, and just feelings. But anyways, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.